Right, well, it's time for some rugby league. Now, what I didn't realise is, and I've changed camera angle because it makes my chins look a bit better from this one, is that York are showing their game against Doncaster. I think it's Doncaster they're playing. Let me just go back and check. On YouTube right now at the moment. Yeah, York and Doncaster is on YouTube. So if you do get bored of Huddersfield Catalans, then you can watch that. And what you could also do is watch that and have me on in the background. And yeah, I don't know. Welcome to another Forty20 Watchalonga. I wasn't going to do today, but then Phil, the Salford fan, said, "Are you going to do one?" So I thought, go on then. Not doing anything else until later. And it would be good practice. I was going to do last night's games, and I thought I actually couldn't be bothered. So Friday we'll do all three, the big ones, and then Leeds Huddersfield, the biggest one of the day, which is on the red button. But Huddersfield Catalans. Huddersfield have won 0 games. Catalans who are slightly better. And yeah, what's going to happen? Hello, Phil. You're the reason I'm doing this. We won't talk about Salford. We might have to talk about them on the programme tomorrow. I mean, we've got loads to talk about on the programme tomorrow, haven't we? I got confused there because they put the stats on the screen. It said head-to-head record, and I thought, Huddersfield haven't won any games this season, but it was last year. Yeah. Leo Darelator on debut for Catalans. What's the French word for debut? Bill Leyland for Huddersfield. 500 to 1 to win the grand final at Huddersfield. Which just show you how stingy bookmakers are, aren't they? Because, I mean, would I offer you 5 million to 1? Well, I mean, I haven't got the liability and I'm an unregulated bookmaker, so I can't. But I would, because they ain't going to win, are they? Come on now. Teams are out at the John Smith Stadium, current home of Huddersfield Giants, until they move to Halifax. So yeah, if you don't want to watch this game, there is York versus Doncaster on YouTube. And also this afternoon, Oldham Featherstone, Widnes Barrow. A couple of games in the Women's Challenge Cup are already underway. Well, York have beaten Featherstone, and Wigan are beating London. So that's the excitement. But it's all the referee's fault anyway, isn't it? That's who we've got to blame, I think. That's kind of thing. How have your rugby league weekends been? Mine was obviously, I wouldn't say derailed by Friday's result for Wakefield, because I wasn't there, I was working, so didn't pay much attention to it other than seeing all the fans fall out on Facebook. St Helens are a decent team. I think we've forgotten that. I know the Saints fans don't believe so, but Tommy Macon says he's going to kick off, but your feed might be ahead of mine. I don't know. And yeah, it started. So I should get some crowd noise, shouldn't I, as a in the background, like when we're in lockdown watching games, but I can't be bothered. Nothing's happened anyway. What else has happened? Castleford Lee last night. That was. Some people have been criticising Lee's performance. I can kind of understand why, from a perspective of they didn't kill off Castleford, but got the job done, didn't they? Got the job done. Same for Leeds on Thursday, which we're not talking about. So you see bits of Wigan versus Hull KR. That was an interesting game. I backed Hull KR by 2 on the media tipping competition, and then went off on 1, didn't they? The old Wigan. Playing players in the right position helps Saints. Sailor's a fullback all day. I mean, the question is now, Phil, does Johnny Lomax get back in the team? I mean, obviously the answer to that question is yes. But do you change a winning team? I'm just speaking in platitudes and cliches. I should have been... if I'd have had any kind of rugby career, I could have been a pundit. This is very much a game, and the same will go for next week. After the Lord's May show of rivals round after Friday, after the first 3 games, Wakefield Cast, rivals, definitely. Although we both hate Leeds, I've got to point this out. But we can't both play Leeds at the same time. Hull, yep. Wigan Saints, yep. Leeds Huddersfield, nah. Lee Warrington, it's all for Catalans. Devils and Dragons. If you named a board game that, you probably get sued by the Dungeons and Dragons people. Nothing's happening. Let's see how York and Doncaster's getting on. They've got like a scoreboard and everything. I've not seen any of York's live streams so far this year. They've got 233 people watching apparently. How many people have we got watching? 6. Could be watching now. Are Chelsea still losing to Ipswich? I know that's football, but still. They are. What's that all about? So I'll try to tell you what's going on in the other scores this afternoon, but I guess if you're really bothered about Oldham and Featherstone and Winners Barrow, you'd be listening to Radio Manchester or Merseyside, wouldn't you? There's 4 teams left in the 1895 Cup, because we've reached the semi-final stage. I don't know if you know that's how competitions work. 2 from West Yorkshire, 1 from North Yorkshire, 1 from Greater Manchester. Draws on Radio Manchester. We can't be trusted. I'll miss the Saturday games, off to watch the Hurricanes. Well, the mid-90s cartoon. See, Midlands versus North Wales, that's a... Is that a rivalry? Who are Midlands rivals? We need to make up rivalries for all these clubs who are not traditional, so to speak. Even though Midlands have been around for 20 years or whatever, as Coventry before. And North Wales have been around. You know, if York are still related to the York who went bust, then North Wales Crusaders are related to Crusaders, aren't they? Are they? I was thinking this yesterday because on a Saturday afternoon, North Derbyshire Radio, North Derbyshire Sport, 2 o'clock. Tune in. And Buxton were away at Scarborough. If Scarborough Pirates were around now as a professional team, that'd be better, wouldn't it? Because we could go there in the summer as opposed to when they played for one season in the winter. And I don't think I'd beat the Scarborough in the winter. I imagine it's shut. It's 0-0. Nothing's happening. Someone got injured. Someone went down injured. By the way, I don't know if James is back on the programme this week or when he's back, but when do we start playing for shoulder charges again? When are we allowed to do that? Oh, it's Fenton Rogers who's gone down and it looks like he's hurt his ankle. I'm glad I didn't go to Sheffield yesterday. I was going to do. But I almost lost my voice on Friday, by which point I decided I wasn't going anyway, but I think I'm glad I didn't go. I've penciled in on my calendar when I'm going to go watch some games in the next few months and such. Looking forward to some great games in Women's Super League. York Leeds at York. Leeds Wigan at Wakefield, at Leeds. Which matches up with fantastic Leeds versus Wakefield. Fenton Rogers is going off. Another one of these Huddersfield Giants players who are injured. So that's 4.5 minutes in. They've already lost a play. You would assume for the rest of the game. I don't know. It's always good when you watch a game at a stadium and they've just left the football goals behind the rugby post, just like that. Just stick them in the stand, it'd be right. And Huddersfield give away a penalty. Not exactly sure what for. Laying on, I think. No points anyway yet. So just watch York and Doncaster. Two nice kits, it has to be said. York and Doncaster, this is. Huddersfield's kit is very boring, isn't it? It looks like... is it Oxon who make their kit? They've gone into the training range and just thought, yeah, that'll do. Yeah, York are wearing like black and yellow oops because they're still supposed to be Wasps, even though they're Knights now. Doncaster in blue and orange, a bit like the M&D kit Leeds had last year. It's 0-0 there anyway. I think my feed's behind time on that one, but if you want to watch a different game, that's on. But I've got more than one camera. They're spending money on things. Why are other clubs not streaming their games? And that's Salford are streaming their reserves and academy games at the moment, which is an interesting thing to do. I still don't know why reserve teams play on a different day to the main fixture. Like Cass are playing Lee Academy at Lee reserves today. Wakefield played Saints Academy yesterday at St Helens before the Women's Cup tie. Why aren't they all matched up? I don't understand it. They used to be. It makes no sense. Phil, did you watch the game last night? Was it worse than Salford Leeds? That's the question. Nothing's happening still. Let me go back and watch your podcast. That's still 0-0 as well. Do go back and watch all the interviews that I got from the inclusivity launch last week. I've got one more to edit from one of the sponsors. I'll do a podcast of that in midweek. What's the other scores? 0-0 everywhere, according to... God, Chelsea are losing 2-1 to Ipswich. What's that all about? It's quite good coverage for the reserves as well. I mean, I would watch it, but I think there's a point where I can only watch so much rugby. But again, if you're doing it if Salford can do it for the reserves, and Salford have got a budget of 40 pence. Well, I don't think they even got 40 pence, have they, according to the CEO? But I don't understand why other clubs don't do it. Especially when, and I don't want to prey on media students having been one, but we'll do stuff for free. Within reason. Did quite a bit of work on the radio for free. I've got expenses though, and experience. Pay you an experience. And now look where I am. Sat in my front room, which I haven't decorated, because I can't be bothered. Talking about rugby to you. Tom Burgess has just been smashed on his shoulder by some Catalans. And Huddersfield have a penalty. I think my theory is on streaming. If I can do the programme on a Monday, and it's not, it's different doing a programme than a game, and I can get these graphics on screen, then people who have more experience and more knowledge should be able to do it. Streaming is the future. So much you rant about the boat race. I hate the boat race. It shouldn't be on BBC One. The Women's FA Cup semi-final should be on BBC One. That's of more relevance to the nation and to the good of the nation and to the young girls out there who want to be footballers than the bloody boat race. Barnsley College never qualified in the 3 years I was there. Right, Leroy Cudjow's got the ball. Gets the ball out wide. Should this be a try for Huddersfield? Oh, just held up just short. Last tackle. What are they going to do here? Well, he's held up, so they'll go back 10 metres. That's good. Got a bit of space. Then the Huddersfield player just drops the ball on the floor because he didn't realise it was wasn't a handover. Well, they're all offside there, so. Kick from Flanagan into the corner. Catalan man drops it, but it goes into the arms of another Catalan man who was in front or behind. Behind it. No, in front he was. It was Makinson who dropped it. So Huddersfield will get another set of 6 inside the on the 10-metre line even. Was he offside or knock on? I don't know. Anyway, it's a scrum to Huddersfield anyway. They're getting the ball back. unless they push at the scrum. Nil everywhere else. York and Doncaster, Oldham, Fev, winless Barrett unless Flash scores he's broken. That should be a shame. So that's not a bad deal, is it, Phil? All New South Wales Cup games, etc. £7.50 a month. Now, how you monetise the Championship, I don't know, and League One. Because obviously you do need some kind of money in there to do it properly. But York are obviously doing it. I think they're taking the Radio York commentary, which is what the... I think the football used to do that, didn't they? Before the new deal with Sky, the Football League used to take the BBC Radio commentary in some occasions. And I know the cricket obviously do. If you watch the County Championship streams on YouTube, they take the BBC commentary. So there's ways and means. Ball that wide from Huddersfield, but going to be held up just short of the line on the fifth. So best chance of the game so far for the Giants, but still 0-0, 12 gone at the John Smiths. How do you monetise it? I mean, here's one of the things people forget about Super League Plus as a platform is an IMG platform. Could you add other things onto that? Well, we saw with the Wakefield League Cup game last week. That was a pay-per-view event, so obviously you can add in extra streams that are chargeable. So we do have the infrastructure. It's a matter of how we use the infrastructure and whether clubs are aware of the infrastructure, which, let's face it, you're never quite sure, are you? So all that pressure Huddersfield have built up and they're giving away a penalty. So Catalans will boot the ball away. High tackle from Burgess. Nice clothesline. Would have looked all right at WrestleMania, that one. The hooked arm clothesline. Like the Russian sickle. Very Nikita Koloff-esque from Tom Burgess. God, such a boring kit, Huddersfield. I know that doesn't matter. I think he might go here. The refs are talking to each other. Unless Liam was just talking to himself, which, you know, can't say anything about that. Can't do it here. He was high. I don't think there was any mitigation, but, or whatever. I think he just said, don't hit people in the head anymore. So, nothing else happens. He might get a ban. He might get some penalty points or something this week. Well, we can all get excited about that. So halfway line. Catalans in prison. This is what I'm going to be like for Leeds Huddersfield next Friday, isn't it? Big Tom, still going. What's happening? I'm always just watching. The cats are wandering around the house. I'm wondering what they're doing. Because you always bugging off. Oh, no. Oh, a cat. The fluffy cat has just jumped over the other cat's head. And Catalans have lost the ball. And Huddersfield have got it. I mean, I assume you're watching. So it was a nice one-on-one ball steal there. Was that? I'm not sure who that was, but Featherstone lead at Oldham 4-0. Excitement, and York are leading Doncaster by 4 points. So I'm just watching the try on the replay. They've got 324 people watching their live stream. But again, it depends on how many people you can get to pay for it, doesn't it? But if they're putting up this stream on YouTube, just put it on Super League Plus as well for free. I know, I know it's up against the Super League games. It's complicated. Why is everything complicated? Why can't we make it simple? Catalans have got the ball. 15 minutes gone. It's 0-0. I can't remember what I tipped them buying this one, but I know I tipped the Catalans. Because why wouldn't you? Right, Catalans, last tackle. 30 away. Ball goes high. Caught by Huddersfield. And they get a half break here. And eventually taken down pretty much where Catalans kicked the ball away. So good catch there by whoever the 24 is for Huddersfield. Because I still can't read these letters on the back of shirts. I mean, I recognise Tom Burgess because he's called Burgess. And he's a big lad. And I think Flanagan's wearing a hat. Well, see a good chance here for Huddersfield again. They're making meters here. Catalan dropping off the tackles a bit. The cat's underneath my microphone about to eat it. So in the centre of the field, just inside the 20, you can just about see the red line on the field. Huddersfield Town going down. I know they lost again yesterday, didn't they? I think they're rubbish now. Oh, try for the Giants. Gagai scrambles over. They're going to look at the replay, see if it was a double movement. Oh, look at cat. But I don't think he was tackled, so I think this will be a try for the Giants. What are you doing? That's one who jumped over the other cat. It's on YouTube. Not feeding you. So now we've got to watch the video referee for a bit. Oh, is he tackled? No, he's not tackled. He does go down with the ball, but he's already got free of the tackle at that point. So it's not a double movement because he's not stopped. And then he stops again, and he gets up again, and he stops again, and he gets up again. Oh, let's just rewinding it. Not feeding the cat anymore. He's trying to eat my wires. He's down there. Try. Yeah, I know, cat. You've come to eat me wires. That was good, that, from Gagai. It was a good try, that. You won't get try of the week or anything, but it was good. Good power. 4-0. Giants kick to come. Could this be their first win of the season? Going into that huge game against Leeds on Friday night. All from the not very, well taken kick on the 5th. What you doing? That's now the cat attacking the laptop. What do you want? What? You don't feed it? Alright, well, I'll feed you while nothing's happening. Look at this on Sky, do you? Boy, Carly doesn't have to feed his cat halfway through. Well, I'm back. They kicked the goal, so it's 6 now. Paul says, what's the latest with Huddersfield's ground move? They need to sort that sooner rather than later. I mean, didn't Mr. Davey get permission from Halifax Council or something? Calderdale Council, because they own the Shay. So I guess we're just waiting to see what happens with it. It's I think when we spoke about it on the show, when James was with us, because he knows all about getting stuff built and that. Huddersfield, without a designated site in the town and plans and such, are years away from getting anywhere built at home. So I don't know what the end game is. I mean, you can make money off the share, can't you? Because you can charge rent to the Panthers and Halifax town. But as opposed to a long-term project, I don't know. Saw Bradford playing Dewsbury for a couple of years, didn't we? Sheffield played in Wakefield and Doncaster and everywhere else they had to go. But is there a long-term future in playing not in the town where you are? I don't know. Another penalty against Tom Burgess for a ball steal, and Catalans get the ball with a penalty. Elsewhere, it's 10-0 to York over Doncaster now, 10-4 to Oldham over Featherstone, still 0-0 Widnes and Barrow. How are York leading? Yeah, York. Wigan 40-0 up in the Women's Challenge Cup away at London. But that's, I think. Which two teams are gone? If the NRL get their say so, Phil. Who says it'll be 10? It might be 20. That'll be the final nil if they move to Halifax, says Paul. I mean, it's difficult, isn't it? Because they've only got as Catalans score, Tommy Makinson with... No, it's not Tommy Makinson. It's Sims with the try. Bit of a difference in physique there. Tariq Sims with the try, 6 foot. This is why I don't do commentary. I don't know who any of the players are. It was a nice kick through, though. Nice try. Yeah, the problem with moving to Halifax is, I mean, how far is Halifax from Huddersfield? I don't know. West Yorkshire seems like a massive country to me, but it's really small, isn't it? It's the added journey time of going to see your team at home. When I was a student in Barnsley, it's just half an hour on the train to come to Wakefield to watch games or whatever. But well, this is what happens, Phil, when you buy glasses that cost £9. I've told the story many a times on there that I was trying to... It's Salford Wakefield at the AJ Bell. One of the first games I did on commentary because we were desperate at Radio Yorkshire. And I was trying to recognise player by number because I thought that was a good way of doing it. And I got Luke Menzies mixed up with Ben Nakaboy. Right, here comes the kick from the Catalans. Of course, as we know now, with goal kicks, we know better than touch judges if you're watching at home. And the kick is straight through the middle, 6-6. 6-6. So yeah, if they move to Halifax, but then if you're from Halifax and you want to watch rugby league, would you? And you don't have an affinity to the Panthers. Well, if you're from Halifax, you don't have an affinity to the Panthers. Well, you won't be bothered, would you? So I don't know. I don't know how it would work. So I mean, in the early 90s when Dewsbury rebuilt or got their stadium rebuilt, however you want to describe it, played at Batley for a year. They knew they were always going back, or however many years they played there. It wasn't as if they were always going to play in Batley. And Dewsbury and Batley are pretty much next to each other. Well, they are. But if there's no plan to return to where you are, it's a bit like Wimbledon in football, isn't it? When Huddersfield they've not turned the ball on of Catalans. I thought he was going to give a penalty there, but it's a penalty to scrum to Huddersfield. When Wimbledon moved away from Plough Lane and had that nomadic existence, because there were no plans for them ever to return to Wimbledon, they just plodded along. The crowds got lower and lower and lower, didn't they? So I don't know. And who will the NRL kick out? Wakefield, probably. I don't know. Who knows what the NRL are going to do, if indeed they ever do buy a stake in the sport. And if they don't, will the quote-unquote forward-thinking clubs join them in some kind of weird competition anyway? I don't know. So Huddersfield, in possession, about 15 metres out. Don't move anywhere. 24 minutes gone, 6-6. I mean, nothing's really happened in the game. It's not been bad, though. So it's been just a game of rugby that's on the telly. As many of them are these days. So able to get past this Catalan defence at the moment, but Ashton Golding waiting at dummy half. I didn't enjoy friend of the podcast, Edwin Apape, pushing his mate out of the way. It was Robbie Mulhern, wasn't it, yesterday too, where he picked the ball up at the play the ball and scoot over, especially had a 5 on him to score. Right, is this the fifth? Yeah, last tackle, 2 metres out. Kick comes a little chip across. I mean, Huddersfield are keeping it alive, but they're going to be caught just short of the line, and yeah, still 6-all, 25 gone. NRL. Maybe they could send some of their rubbish teams over, like Penrith. Are they rubbish? Are Penrith rubbish? Are they gone now? So York are winning, Oldham are winning. Widnes Barrow is scoreless. And it's Huddersfield's at Catalans 6 in Super League. Do you like the Saturday night game? The 8 o'clock? We've had a couple of those now. Have I watched the latest 6 Tackles with Gus Pocket? I haven't. I saw the clip of him on whichever NRL programme it was, where he talks about investment and stuff. I do like how the Australians talk about England as if that's it. It's not Britain or anything. But he's gonna be. He seems to have mellowed, does Gus, doesn't he? Because he used to be very, I don't know, combative, but he seems to be a lot more mellow these days. He seems to speak a lot of sense. I mean, what happens? Would things have been different if the mergers from 1995 had gone through? I think it's Ashton Golding who's just having a check on his neck at the minute, which is concerning. Not that Ashton Golding. Is it Ashton Golding? Yeah, it is Ashton Golding. Not quite sure how he got hurt there. It's one of those things. He made the tackle on the Catalan player, and I still got no idea how he got hurt. Not jarred his neck or something. But I mean, it's great all these things with the NRL and coups and stuff, isn't it? Because it gives us stuff to talk about. But we'll have nothing to do with it. Will it just happen? Oh, I think Golding, while he's making the tackle, I think his head hits the shoulder of Thaj, oddly. But you only notice that when they show the slow motion. I mean, Luke Robinson won't be happy with it. It's be another player out injured, potentially, with the not as busy Easter period coming up. So he's going off for the HIA. Barrow leads 6-0 at Widnes. York 20-0 up now after half an hour at home to Doncaster. And Wigan leading 44-0 in the Women's Cup away at London. What's the praise you, Phil? What has Gus said apart from we need help? We haven't got a chair yet, have we? Might nominate the cat. If he didn't like people, he'd bite them like he does me. Well, Catalans on the attack. Nice break on the left-hand side, but I think Makinson trying to pass the ball inside, but it's got in touch. And on the third tackle, might have been a waste there. Using us for the development of NRL players. Well, I mean, Phil, someone would say that's probably what we... Is that what they do already? Is it better for us to have NRL players to come over and play rather than players from the New South Wales and Queensland Cups? Is that unfair? Because you do worry sometimes that clubs would rather spend money on a player to fill a gap for a season rather than developing their business. If we got a constant supply of NRL players, is there a tariff on NRL players? Do we have to pay? Is there a tax on them? So when Michael Dobson came over, didn't he, as a very young player to, was it Wigan and then Hull KR? Was that the way around it went? I'm sure there are other examples you can think of. Here come the Catalans. They did get the ball from the ball going into touch because it was played up by a Huddersfield man. They've got 2 tackles left. Well, that was a bit of a waste of one. When I say a bit of waste of one, complete waste of one. Last tackle. Here comes the ball. Kick from Keary, but straight into the arms of... I think that might... I'm not sure who that is. I don't know why I keep telling you who the players are, because I don't know who they are. But not a great kick from Keary, and Huddersfield start 10 minutes away from their own try line. Half an hour almost gone. So if they send over players to be developed and get game time in our competition, are the NRL clubs going to be paying the majority of their wages? Because if so, and you're a club who is skint, you're thinking, aye. It's not perfect, it's not ideal, but a bit like how Chelsea use the whole of European football to develop players and then sell them. Why are they losing to Ipswich? Kick from Huddersfield. He has made it to halfway, and Catalans have the battle of the territory at the moment. Can they turn that into points? It's seamless, isn't it? Seamless. And that looks a bit high round the collar. Well, I guess the collar isn't high, is it? Then how do we develop our youngsters, says Phil? Well, it's a very good question. The Catalans play on debuts, just taking it to 2 metres from the line. Again, they're up about 5 metres out with 1 tackle left in the bank. You've got to trust coaches and clubs to do that regardless of the players they've got being sent over, haven't you? And the problem is, do we do enough of that at the moment? Hasn't that always been the problem with some clubs at the top end of Super League, where you think, why aren't there more youngsters from your system in your team? Do they then get sent to lower end Super League clubs to develop? I was thinking about this last night with the Women's Super League, and obviously there's the big gap between the top 4 and the rest, as we saw with yesterday's results, and not necessarily the Sheffield Leeds result, because Sheffield are in a different division, but certainly the Saints and Huddersfield have knocked it on. Certainly with the Saints and Warrington result, both in the same division. Saints win 102-0. Shouldn't happen, should it? But if you're a player on the fringe at Saints, Leeds, Wigan, York, would you go and spend a season on loan at Warrington, Lee, Huddersfield, or risk it getting in there at your club? It's so how do we help our own youngsters in the men's game? We've got to trust clubs to be able to do it, but we see it so often that they don't, do they? And they'd rather bring in someone who we'd never heard of from Australia. If Huddersfield go again, Catalans go again from the scrum. But Phil, your question is right and it's perfect, and it is a question we can have our opinions on, but then we're not the coaches and owners of the clubs who always do the same thing. As the young man on debut has got a shot in the back, but he scored. Catalans lead. So that's what people say about Catalans, that why aren't they developing enough French youngsters, as if the whole of France is on the back of the Catalans. Deralator. Great surname. Got a bash in the back, but he scores on his debut in Super League for the Dragons. Was it more in need to the kidneys? I'm not sure. He's got superb hair as this young Frenchman. Got to say that. Got a shot of Steve McNamara in the crowd. Let's have a look at what happens to Dennett. Oh, it gets kneed in the kidneys. Oh. Oh. Yeah, they're showing Steve McNamara in the crowd, and he's got like a load of electrical equipment next to him. Oh, it might be an 8-point try. Ooh, excitement, because Hewitt fouled Delator in the act of scoring. Everyone loves an 8-point try, even though we've said a million times before they should be called something different, because they're not 8-point tries. Because he might miss this conversion. I mean, he kicked one from out wide earlier, so he might score it. But nope, Cat's on the move. Here comes the conversion. Swings it wide. So yes, now it is a penalty. He's bringing over Leroy Cudjoe to have a word. Don't need people in the kidneys. I can't get over how boring this Huddersfield kit is, by the way. He's off to the bin as well. Oh. Don't need people in the kidneys. This is a public service announcement. So all those Huddersfield players who started to wander off thinking, oh, we'll go back and get ready for the kick, and now they have to go back behind the post. What a load of wasted effort that was. So here comes the penalty, and that is good. So it is 12-6 to the Dragons of Catalans. I think I'm impressed by these young Frenchmen's hair because mine is starting to fall out. Hence why I've got the ponytail at the moment, because I think I'm going to have it for as long as possible and then just shave it all off. I'm getting adverts on YouTube now for testosterone and stuff. So, so I'm officially old. Not badly enough. So Catalans lead with 5 minutes to go until half time, and with a extra play because Huddersfield have Hewitt in the mid. Elsewhere in rugby this afternoon, 12-12 Oldham Fev, 6-0 Barrow at Widnes, 22-0 for York over Doncaster, 34-0, I beg your pardon, for York over Doncaster. York, having had a not great start to the season, have certainly found their form, haven't they? He says, Rise Up TV, that's what York thinks on. Apparently he's the 59th French player to play for Catalans in the last 10 years. That's pretty good. An average of almost 6 a season. I can do the maths there. It's just another stick to beat them with, isn't it? Are there... do other clubs get asked the same thing about their youth development? Probably not. Here comes the kick. Here's De La Torre again, but he's tackled the Huddersfield man. Did he tackle him in the air? I think it will be a penalty to Huddersfield there, but... Or will it be the dropout? Oh, it's a penalty to Catalans for a head-high shot. Take the 2 again. 8-point lead before the break. I mean, I'd take the 2 here. And they are going to take the 2 because they're boring like me. I've never been to Catalans. In my reign of terror working briefly at Wakefield, I was told that I could go on the plane and then COVID. So it didn't happen. Also, I didn't have a passport, so that would have been a bit of an impediment. I mean, I could have snuck in the hold or something. And you could say, because they've got the extra man on the field, should they have played on here? If they were already a score and a bit in front, then maybe, but boo goes the crowd. And Catalans lead 14-6. It's been very much a game of rugby league. I mean, Huddersfield scored the best try of the game, but you don't get points for artistic effort. What we're going to talk about on the show tomorrow, do we think? Wigan, are they back? Hull, are they the real deal? It's all these clickbait titles. Are Hull KR rubbish now? Are they a one-man team without Mikey Lewis? Who will Sean Wayne pick for England? Will it be Mickey McAloran? Salford. Yeah, we'll talk about Salford. We will, I'm afraid, have to talk about Salford. I wish we didn't have to talk about Salford. I'm bored of talking about Salford. In many and various ways. But I thought John Wilkin and Brian Carney did very well in their questioning of Chris Irwin, who I feel very sorry for, because obviously he's the public face of this shambles. As another Catalan player is down injured with a minute to go until half time. So the Giants mascot in the background celebrating the ball going into touch. Romano's injured. I'm not quite sure what happened there. He passed the ball away. It looks like it's a lower limb injury, because he's hobbling. Don't hobble with a shoulder injury, do you? No. Minutes to go before the break. Huddersfield in possession. Trailing 14-6. What's that to get York? Has that reached half time yet? Yeah, 34-0 at half time to York Neats. You get to see exciting shots of the crowd at half time. I wonder if they play like the Radio York halftime, the Radio York halftime show, as if it's the Super Bowl. Some jingles mentioning the Guardian phoning and whatever else they do on local radio these days. Featherstone lead at Oldham, 18-12. Good news for our man Paul Cook of Forty20 magazine fame. And that's half time. 14-6. I would flick around the telly, but it's on Sky Sports Plus, isn't it? So I don't really want to do that. Look forward to it coming back with the graphic and stuff. They've got the great video, haven't they, for Rivals round. It says all these things are coming on and Salford Catalans. Nelly has scored for Oldham. I doubt he will come back to us. Well, the thing I don't understand, Phil, is why haven't they sold him? If Callum Watkins is worth 25 grand, as is being the reported fee. Well, let's face it, no one knows what the fees are anymore, do they? They never get reported like in the olden days. I'm surprised someone hasn't bought Nelly McDonald. And Cross is supposed to be going to St Helens. When that happens, I don't know. You'd assume that would be after the weekend, but I don't know. Who else is left to go? This is the problem for Salford now. Is we can spend every game talking about how brave they are and this and that and the other, but there's still a lot of highly paid players. Isn't the wrong phrase, isn't it? Because often being paid late. But there's still experienced players in there. Atkin to Cash. Yeah, that's been going on for a couple of weeks, that one, Phil, hasn't it? I don't know why that hasn't gone through yet. Again, I don't know anything about anything, but you hear these things all the time. You know, the Watkins thing went on for a couple of weeks, didn't it, before he moved to Leeds. Who's left? The part of the story about Cross is that Salford get Ben Davies on loan or something, I don't know. So I guess other clubs are trying to help them out in that sense, but it does have all the hallmarks, unfortunately, of trying to get Salford through to the end of the season, and then we don't want to talk about Salford, do we, Phil? You said you come here to escape from Salford chat. So let's talk about crisps or something. I don't know. Talk about how great Hull are. Or Wigan. Or not Warrington. York playing Bradford in the semi-finals of the 1895. So it must be Oldham Featherstone the other one, wasn't it? And they are playing each other now. I think that's who's left in it. London badly sounded like a good game yesterday. Barrow 18-6 up at Widnes. That's a surprise. Hull KR's women have won 64-0 in the women's shield thing, I think. Well done them. I was going to say this on the programme tomorrow about some clubs and their women's setup and stuff. Hull KR women play at the men's home ground, as in they play at Craven Park. So I still don't understand why some do and some don't. Doesn't make any sense. So Featherstone lead at half time, Barrow about to lead at half time, and York comfortably in front at half time against Doncaster. And can we see this game here being any different at full time? And I guess the answer to that question is probably no. Brannigan's roast beef and mustard favourite crisps, says Phil. And really take, and are they crisps? These not the Brannigans, but the ones you get from corner shops. I think they're called Bobby's prawn cocktail swirls. I don't know if you would describe them as crisps. Snack might be the right vernacular. Very taken by those. The shop, a couple of doors down from 4020 TV, stocks them. The corner shop around the corner from me doesn't. So when I go to, that's the only reason I do the podcast on Monday is to go buy crisps. Can you measure with Swinton? Salford-Swinton merger. Manchester Super Club for the NRL. Brutal. Other words. Flair. Matt Duffy should have. They should have interviewed him after the game yesterday and say, "What do you think Jake Connor made of that performance?" I forgot to mention that on the podcast the other week. I think I've written about it in the magazine. I've not seen what I wrote yet. I'll see it tomorrow. If you haven't picked up a copy, by the way, it's there. Make sure you pick it up because there's an exclusive interview with Simon Johnson, which I'm told is very good. Should have happened when it was proposed by Morris in 1995. I mean, where would we be if all those mergers had gone through? Would anything have changed? My end... I think I did the hypothetical Rugby League podcast about this a few years ago, and I think my conclusion at the end was we'd still be where we are. Because we wouldn't have seen the rise of women's football or any of the other things that have happened in the next 30 years since then. So would it have made any difference if Salford and Swinton had merged? We'd be 30 years down the line now. And the Wakefield Castleford Featherstone thing. We'd be 30 years down the line. The next generation of supporters wouldn't have known any different. And the old fogies like us, we'd have either gone with it or found something else to do. It's what happens when Huddersfield moved to Halifax. It's the same thing, in effect. The people who've always gone to watch Huddersfield are probably going to still go and watch them. But when Rochdale and Oldham fit in, it's all placed on the M62 when you're going across. What would you call the Swinton Salford Super Club? Is it more important that you have an identity that has 100 and odd years of history to it, or something that might have a future? It's a bit of a deep philosophical question, isn't it? Just watching the highlights, nothing really. Watching the crowd at York's more exciting. There's nothing going on there either. I wonder if any other clubs... I think Featherstone usually put their games up pretty much as soon as they're done. So there's about 300 people watching York. There's 2,500 watching Yorkshire versus Worcestershire cricket. They've already built their you can watch the cricket on YouTube thing. I think all the counties pretty much stream their games. I think it'd be cheaper to stream a rugby game than a four-day county championship match, wouldn't it? You don't even need to... I know York have got the presenter and stuff, and you don't even need a presenter. You can do it all off camera if you wanted. As I said before, we did the Women's Challenge Cup in 2018 with 2 cameras, me, a vision mixer, a producer, and I think somebody else. I think it was about... plus the commentator. And so if you take me out of it, because I don't count, commentator, summariser, I think there were 4 people working on it. it wouldn't have cost. Knowing how much we got paid, well, how much I got paid, you can do streaming cheap and to a decent standard. Do we like big flags at rugby? Where do you get those big heads? Where do you get the big cardboard heads? Where do you get those through? They showed the video in the whole change room yesterday when they were singing their song. And someone had one of the big cardboard heads in there. Well, I don't know who it was. John Cartwright's on Coach of the Year now, so that's just in case you missed that. Ribena. Only because it was cheap in Heron Foods. It's expensive usually. Right, so York and Doncaster are back on. Oh. Liverpool have won, so I think they're the champions almost. See, Celtic would have been champions in Scotland earlier, but Rangers scored in the last minute, so they're not now. So that's bad news for Celtic. They have to wait another week. Cass women have won 14-6 against someone. I don't recognise the badge, so I can't tell you who it's against. Well done to Cass. The good thing about the county championship streams is, and I found this last summer, you stick it on in the background. It's the great thing about cricket. You don't have to really pay attention to it. That's why I used to go watch it in the summer. It's just an excuse to go out and have a chat with people, isn't it? Or fall asleep. Or eat sandwiches. Headingley's not been as good since they redeveloped the Western Terrace and got rid of the bookstall. Used to come up with a load of cricket yearbooks every Sunday league match. God, that's where they are. Oh, I forgot what I've got next to me today. It's in my pile of stuff. What's this? What's this? What is this? Rugby Football Union, Twickenham, Bath and Wigan. That's the best Paul brother. The Impossible Dream, they called it. John Hall Rugby Man. Yeah, that worked out well for Newcastle, didn't it? Got a picture signed by Will Carley. Rugby the early years. Before there was rugby, there was football, it says here. And then William Webb Ellis picked up the ball. Actually, it's interesting, even here they say allegedly. This is written by the RFU, and we all know it's a made-up myth. Oh, it's not that John Hall, it's a different John Hall. The Wonders of Wigan. Wigan, arguably the greatest name in rugby league, were among the 21 clubs who decided to break away from the Rugby Football Union because they were gits. Not Wigan. The Rugby Football Union. Chris Radlinski, Jason Robinson, Henry Paul, Gary Conley, Martin Afire, Joe Lydon and Craig Murdoch, the Doc, at scrum half, Quinal Tugamala, Shem Tutupu, there's a name I don't remember, Farrell Houghton, Cowie Hall O'Connor, Terry O'Connor. Oh, Nigel Wright. Terry O'Connor there. Hang on, I've got him. Can you see him? Where's that hair gone? Wish I had hair like that. Looks like Simon Hanson. Andrew Farrell, never heard of him. Teams are back out, but I'm just reading this programme instead. There's no picture of the dock in here. Calvin Skerritt. One for the teenagers. General information about Twickenham. No, not going on. Action from the first leg at Main Road. Some people. Guide to some basic rugby union laws. There you go. If you want to buy a copy of that, probably got one on eBay. Alright, second half's on. Well, anyone says Calvin Skerritt's name now, we all think of the same thing, don't we? I'm going to talk about it on the programme tomorrow, but we all think about the same one clip of commentary. And I shouldn't laugh, because it's not funny, which I'm going to explain tomorrow. But I'm already thinking about what I'm going to eat for tea. I know it's Sunday. Here come the Catalans. Fifth tackle, minute gone. They're in the Huddersfield half. The problem with this game is, that's not. I mean, that is one of the worst tries you'll ever see. Not in terms of the attack from Huddersfield, from Catalans, but Huddersfield let the ball bounce. The two men there let the ball bounce, and Catalans just pick it up and score. The prop forward picks the ball up on the bounce and scores. That is one of the worst pieces of defending. You know when you go see a kids game, and kids all swarm around the ball, don't they? Because they all want their hands on the ball, but they don't have any sense of positioning or what they're supposed to. They're just like running and passing and scoring tries, which is good. But I know they don't have kicks in under 8 games or whatever, but they would have defended this kick better than Huddersfield, who let the ball bounce. So I don't know if they're onside or offside. I'm hoping they're onside, because this is the worst. This is just terrible defending. When a number 10 picks the ball up on the bounce, you're just like, this is dreadful. As Phil says, Huddersfield are truly awful. They could stop us from being relegated. Busquets with the try, and that is absolutely shocking. And as much as people go say, well, Luke Robinson this, Luke Robinson that, no one coaches players to not catch a ball, do they? I mean, that is absolutely dreadful. Absolutely dreadful. If you did see kids doing that, you would think, well, kids. But I'm watching this again. There's 2 players coming towards the ball, and it bounces in between them. And are they impeded by the Catalans man getting in the way? Nah. Why do the Giants get their first win, says Dominic? Well, I mean, you know, this is like the Castleford thing. Castle bound to win at Wakefield on Thursday, aren't they? Because we're getting cocky now. Wakefield fans are getting cocky. Remaining cocky from last year. Has he missed the conversion? Yeah, he's missed the conversion. Bobby felt sorry for them after the try. Huddersfield will either get it when you least expect it or just not win. The fact that they lost to Salford, and I can't remember how many players were missing in that Salford game or not. I remember it not being a great game, but I don't know where Huddersfield win. I know they've got injuries and such, but injuries don't stop two players catching a ball, do they? That's just... I'm going to fixate on this moment now for the rest of the game because I think that sums up a... Is it concentration? Is it attitude? Is it crapness? I don't know. I sometimes like to think that if I was on the pitch, my brain would know what to do, but my body wouldn't. And it's not true because I was terrible. But at least I know to jump for the ball. Phil says Salford, Cass and Huddersfield are really poor. And Huddersfield have knocked it on again. I still think Huddersfield spent the money wrong in signing Tom Burgess. Not that he's not a good player or whatever, but if you're spending the amount of money they're allegedly spending on him, it's a waste. I know the best player in the competition at the moment, the form player in the competition at the moment, is a prop at Hull. But I also don't think he's getting as much as Burgess, and he's got a team around him. It was a signing that never made any sense. Will they stick with Robinson long term? I think the problem for Luke Robinson is how many times have Huddersfield chopped and changed coaches over the years, just constantly changing. Are we in the cycle now where they'll go back and pick up another Australian assistant? Another Wolford or a Rick Stone or whatever. Get Ian Watson back, he's not doing anything. Tony Smith? I don't know. I think Huddersfield's issues run deeper than the coach, don't they? And have done for years. The problem is they're obviously a club that are producing good youngsters. Oh, God, they're going to score again here, Catalans. Sirenen this time who walks through the defence. So they're producing good young players, but they're not... It's not the youth development that's the issue at Huddersfield. It's the signings that are the issue at Huddersfield. Is that unfair? I always say this because I know that you know more about rugby than I do. So I'm looking at things from a very limited perspective. But that's how it looks to me. The youth players coming through are good, appear to be good, but the players they're signing are not good. So it doesn't matter who the coach is. I like Luke Robinson, even though I forgot what his name was at the Super League launch when I didn't speak to him. I can't remember what I wanted to say he was for some reason. Right, now, can you man from Catalans who's just missed a kick? Oh, is it 24? Hang on. I thought it was 22-6. I thought it was 18-6. Then they missed the conversion. Or did this go? Let's see what Flash Score says. Yeah, it's my wrong. I'm wrong. 26-6. Apologies. Can't get the staff. Featherstone 24-12 up now against Oldham. Widnes 6, Barrow 18, York 46, Doncaster 0. So Doncaster not having the best of afternoons, whereas York certainly are. What a turnaround from York's start to the season for Mark Applegarth's men. Even the Super League Twitter account said, "Don't let a rugby ball bounce." So, is that trolling? I don't know. It's not very good, is it? That's not very good. I don't know if you're like me, and I know I'm sat here talking to you, so we're kind of in. I kind of have to watch it to the end. But sometimes you just think, when there's about 5 minutes left and the game's over, you think, why don't I turn it over? And you still stay till the end watching it, even though nothing's going to change. Like, I'm watching this game, I know it's going to finish whatever. Well, Huddersfield have got a penalty now. But I'm not turning it over. I'm not going off to watch York and Doncaster instead. We're gluttons for we are Phil. We are gluttons for punishment. We could turn over and watch something else, or not even read a book, or the latest 4020 magazine out now. I would read it, but I haven't got it with me. Let's hope next time I've got a different programme next to me to show off at half time. I'm trying to find out how many Wigan women scored against London. That St Helens Cardiff game will be interesting, not because I don't expect St Helens not to win, but having beaten Warrington a week ago, Cardiff, it'd be interesting to see how they get on against St Helens. I mean, I assume they'll win comfortably, but still, we like Cardiff because we sponsor one of their players. So. Oh, they're doing it to get another shirt for my. I seem to have started a collection of match-worn shirts, which I'm collecting these things, and one day I'm not going to be here anymore. It's like someone's going to have to chuck them away, like all these programs. Especially now no one buys them on eBay. All right, Tom Burgess with a bullocking run, as a rare French would say. And 10 minutes gone in the second half, 26-6. Huddersfield attacking the camera to our left. Whichever stand, the away stand. Oh, close there. But if it had gone again, it would have been a double movement. Play the ball. They're claiming interference in the play the ball, but the Catalan man couldn't move. So it's the last tackle. Well, they were quick off the line there, the Catalans. Kick through, try for Giants. Or is it? Bibby's put the ball down. And Liam Moore says it's a try. I was going to call him Aaron Moore then, but it's Liam Moore. How much was the spot? Phil, it cost me £150 to sponsor a Cardiff Demons player, because I saw them advertising it on Instagram, and I thought, with the advertising money from the podcast, put it to good use and sponsor a Cardiff Demon, because I feel I'm giving something back there. And their shirts are ace, aren't they? So it'd be great to offer those for the collection. So, yeah. I can't really knock it 150 quid, can you? No, look, go get some social media. So I was looking at sponsoring other teams in other parts of rugby league, but some of the prices were far outside what the budget of the podcast is. That's a few months of advertising, by the way, that's paid for that. Download more podcasts. Watch more YouTube videos. Make us more money. It's it's a minefield, isn't it, Phil? Because you want to support things, but yeah. When I saw it was 150, I thought for Cardiff, I thought it was an easy decision to make. Not that I've got loads of dispensable income or whatever, because I haven't. But with the money from the podcast, I see it as an extra, and because before we moved to Sports Social, I was paying for the web hosting, so I don't do that now. We get the money from the advertising, so. After signing extension this week, asked Dominic, do you feel George Flanagan needs to move away from Huddersfield to progress his career? He's still very young, isn't he? So that is in his favour. Where does he go? Who picks him up? Is he in the right position now to gain experience? Will he get that experience behind a pack that isn't as... Oh, I'm not changing the score or nothing. Is the comeback on? Wigan asked on it. If you sign for Wigan, you always got a good chance that you'll end up on loan somewhere else where they'll see you improving, won't you, if you're on the fringes of the team. And having they haven't really replaced have they replaced Ryan Hampshire as a kind of player just having around players just to have spare? Wigan were tempted before he signed for the Giants, says Dominic. Well, then you would assume that should his progression remain with an upward trajectory, that they'd still be interested in him in the future. Or another club of that stature. Always got to be a premium for young, talented ball handling players, isn't there? Ulm Fev all square, says Phil. You're doing my job for me, Phil. What are you doing? York have hit 50 against Doncaster, so I guess that means we have to kick Doncaster out of the Championship. Yeah, 24-year-old Barrow, 24-6 up at Widnes. I mean, Widnes had that great start to the season, so that is a... I think we can call that a surprise scoreline, can't we? I think. No League One today for reasons. Leeds Huddersfield next week is going to be interesting, isn't it? Because we saw Leeds on Thursday not necessarily do what they needed to do. But, well, no, they did do what they needed to do. They won, but it's going to be the same challenge against Huddersfield, isn't it? Again, where they're expected to win. Do they do it in some style at home? 1-5 Widnes to win that game, jeez. I was looking yesterday. I was looking all over to find the prices on the Saints Warrington women's game, and nowhere priced it up because I would have. I'm not necessarily sure I would have said Saints would win by 100, but I would certainly have been investing in that match. That is for sure. Don't forget next Friday. It's Good Friday. Rivals round live here. 4020 TV. All three games on Friday are going to be sat here, getting slowly more delirious. By the end of Leeds Huddersfield, I might be just drooling in my chair and turning over to watch repeats of Top of the Pops or something. 26-12 to Catalans. What did I predict in this game? I was going to find out and then I went off to do something else. Here are my predictions this week. Leeds by 22, Hull KR by 2, Saints by 6, Warrington by 8, Lee by 26, Catalans by 18. So, yeah, I could do with a few more points here for the... dog snoring in the background. It's not a reflection on this game. She's always asleep. As the Dragons have scored again. Seguier. Oh, it's gone to the video referee. This is why this game goes on forever, doesn't it? Yeah, he's not in touch. That's a try. Big Box, Huddersfield's newest and biggest leisure club. What's in there? What do we reckon it is? Do we reckon it's like a big gym? Or is it a snooker club? Do they have shove halfpenny? Is it indoor league? Here comes the smart meter. Try. Oh, so now I need no more points from my 18 to land, don't I? But there's a bit too much time left in the game for that. What is the point of the touch judge? How much do you reckon they get paid? How much do you reckon they get paid? I don't know. They just want to check everything, don't they? Otherwise, people will go on forums and slag off referees or something. I mean, in fairness to the touch judge, he didn't have his flag up, did he? So he knew he wasn't in touch. So I don't know. Don't you miss those in-goal judges? I mean, that was a racket, wasn't it? Build better, something stronger, cheer louder, it says behind the goal. 32-12. There you go. Well, that's the end of the game. We'll see you next week. What is the point of fifth? What is the point of touch judges? Merry flag wavers. I still want to know what Steve McNamara's got behind him as Huddersfield get the short kick-off. 56-0 to York. Let's go to London Broncos. They'll tell me what the score was. London Broncos. $44-0 to Wigan over London, so that's a fair score, isn't it? Because I know we all have to slag off the Women's Rugby League this week after the scores yesterday. But that seems to be a good performance from London. I mean, there you would say, so London holding Wigan to 44 points. I think York beat Fev by 50 earlier, but Fev scored in that. Feather, of course, not in Super League either. So, right, Huddersfield from a penalty. They are 10 away. Can they close up the gap again? Well, it looks like he's taking Burgess around the head there, but it's not. Golding's looking for options. And they're on the 18, on the edge of the 18-yard box. Golding takes the play the ball in the D. Ball out wide. It's not much. It seems to be in slow motion, Huddersfield, at the minute. 20 left. Trailing by 20. Well, he looked offside there, the Huddersfield man, anyway, if they'd picked up that ball from the kick, but he didn't. And Farge picks it up, and Catalans in possession. I still can't get over how boring this Huddersfield shirt is. Oh. I think Huddersfield needed to score there, didn't they? To have this game not just drift off into whatever it's drifting off into. Penalty for Catalans. When Huddersfield were in possession as well. What is the point of anything, Phil? What is the point of anything? 24-12 now to Barrow. Witness on the comeback. Still 24 all. Oldham and Featherstone if flash scores is to be believed. Sky Sports News tweeting about the boat race. Not proper sport. Catalans held up. Go back 10 metres. Leading by 20. Well, that looked like it went forward and they've dropped it anyway. And Huddersfield have dropped it as well. And it'll be a scrum, I assume, to Huddersfield. Oh. Need to move. Sat here too long. This is the bit where you're thinking, why don't I turn over and watch the German football or some random tennis? Maybe there's some snooker on. Oh, the Catalans have pushed at the scrum. I mean, they didn't win the ball, but it's always nice to see. Just to give us some excitement in the game. Oh. Another penalty to Huddersfield. Still 24 all Oldham and Featherstone inside the last 10. Barrow just got a drop goal? They have, so they lead 25-12 Norway at Widnes. The former Barrow Braves. Not called that anymore. Someone league with the Bears for about a week. What was that all about? And still, when we have retro around, why don't Huddersfield have a Barracudas kit? Barra, rara, cuckoo, dada. Six again for the Giants. This is about the point where you've watched all the games over a week and you're just like, I've watched enough rugby now. Someone do something. I've picked up an arm strain by leaning on my chair for the last hour. It's like it might rain as well. That's not good, isn't it? Oh yeah, rain later. That's not good. Cool and cloudy afternoon with clear air, but allergy sufferers beware. The pollen count is high. Says the AI weather on my phone. Why is the AI everywhere? Has your club done a AI version of a player in a box as a action figure? Oh, Huddersfield have scored a try. Well, they're going to go to the video referee anyway. Oh, no, they haven't. Just given it. Cheerleaders didn't realise you sat there. Also with a try. 32-16. Kick to come. Catalan. It was a good try. As much as he had to land on top of a player to score. There's really poor games this season. I have to admire Mr. Kaplan's enthusiasm sometimes when he talks about some of the games that have been dreadful. And he watches all the NRL games as well. I think. Excitement now as we watch Liam Sutcliffe try to get the ball to stay on the team. People who get upset when a game is rubbish on TV, I don't understand that because not every game can be perfect and you can turn over. But some games are good. I enjoyed Hull. Balls fall off the tee. I enjoyed Hull's first half yesterday against Warrington. That was exciting. I'm sure there were some other games this week that were good. There were a lot more football games on TV that are rubbish than rugby league games. Football's still popular, from what I understand. Despite that. Bring back the sand or kicking off a divot in the turf. Yeah, well, you can't do the divots, can you? Because it'll upset grounds people. And we don't want to go all John Wilkin on them. Here's the kick after all that. It's good. Well done, Liam Sutcliffe. Bring back sand. Or someone having to put their finger on it to hold it when it was really windy. I'm assuming there were rules on how high a kicking tee can be. And you got the homemade ones in Wheelchair Super League because they have to be bigger. Bit of pipe or something. Well, the good news, listener, is that it's nearly over. There's only just over 10 minutes left. So. Who would you give the player of the match to? No one. The viewers. If I was the chair of the Rugby Football League, I would fine Wigan every week that they had the Warriors fans as a squad number. Because it's not allowed. In the rules, it's not allowed. That's why Todd Carney wasn't allowed to wear 99 at Salford. On a banning spree. Ban everyone. Last tackle on halfway. Little kick up from Huddersfield. And they might even score a try here. Nice. Knock the ball on eventually. But it was a nice. Again, Catalans didn't deal with that well. Bring back Sam. What else would we bring him back? Weird kick-off times, like Hull KR kicking off at 3:15. 62-0 now to York. Still 24 all at Oldham. I was going to say watershedding, but that's only slightly out of date. John Davidson has described that ball bouncing from Huddersfield as under 7s, so that's gone slightly below my under 8s. Gatherwin Spring has been sent off for a high shot, so Fev down to 12 for the last 5 minutes or so against Oldham. High kick from Catalans. Huddersfield don't let it bounce, but don't deal with it. Was he offside there? Yes, he was. So, penalty to Catalans. It's one of those things. It's a bit like it happened last night in the Cast League game, wasn't it, where a player was in front of the kick. Not much you can do about it. You have to pick the ball up. The Catalans man's down. He took a flat back bump onto the turf. It was the captain's challenge because they realise they haven't used it yet and we've only got 10 minutes left. So you don't want to sit here all day watching, do we? I don't know what they're going for. Now I want to see the end of Oldham and Fev, but obviously they're not streaming it, so... Imagine if you had the ability there just to flick around games all the time. Well done to Salford's women. They've won 36-0 over Wakefield today in the Challenge Shield, so there could still be some silverware coming to the AJ Bell Stadium at some point this year. So there you go, Phil. There's some positivity for you. Salford's women have won. I still don't know what's going on here. Huddersfield might get the ball back here, so that's exciting. Huddersfield have got the challenge right, so well done to them. Oldham have scored a try. 30 points to 24. Controversy. And Barrow are now 31-12 up at Widnes. So Huddersfield in possession, 10 metres out from their own line. About 8 minutes left on the clock. Can they score 14 points? He says, quickly doing the maths. Answer, you know and I know. The microphone looks like a weird light thing there. It just changes colour. I don't know why it does that. Nope, Huddersfield have lost the ball. And it's a knockout. On halfway. Huddersfield are happy. I think it was Hewitt who... He's saying there's a couple of men in the tackle, but... Oh, they can challenge it again, can't they? Oh, no, another captain's challenge. Oh. Liam Moore should just be able to say, look, lads, we all just want to go home now. You're not allowed to challenge anymore. Take matters into his own hands. York have won 66-0. It has finished at the LNER Community Megadome. Well done to them. It's great when teams on their social media after a game when they've lost, they just have to put like, we have lost. It ends in defeat or such. Well, they've got another captain's challenge successful. Oh. Would have been funny there from the penalty if it hadn't have gone into touch. That would have been very funny, but it has. So 7.5 minutes left. 32-18 to Catalans. Burgess almost dropped on his head there. There's a lot to be said though. If on commentary they just like did this, just like whoever it is on Sky, they just sit there and just talk about nothing to do with the game while it goes on around them. Guys looked good with ball in hand close to the Catalans line, but he hasn't had many opportunities to do it, and he scored one and nearly did then. Well, the cat's back. Oh, cat's going to come back on. You've got food down. They don't understand English. I don't know why I talk to them. He likes eating the wire off my laptop. So I'm worried he's going to electrocute himself or me. I mean, I'm more worried about me than the cat because he's indestructible. But last tackle play went nowhere. Catalans have it. 6 minutes left. And then we can all get on with our lives. If indeed he's still watching. I know, Cat, I can see you. He's down there. You can't see him. Elsewhere, Featherstone have scored in the corner in the last minute. On my microphone. But they've missed a conversion, so it's still 30 points to 28 in favour of Oldham. You've got food down. He's got food in his bowl. Right, he just doesn't look. Sometimes they like attacking the rugby on the telly, but even today's game's obviously not got their attention. Oh, he's looking at it now. They like tennis because the ball moves, and snooker. Sometimes football, but they don't often notice the ball in the rugby, so we need a different colour ball. 5 left. 32-18, and Catalans have knocked it on. Welcome to the end times. So Phil, Salford's women are banging the drum and singing the Salford song. So do you want me to put that in the chat for you so you can watch it? Give us an S. S. Give us an A. Give us an L. Give us some other letters. Oh, Catalans are Captain's Challenge now. I liked it when Wakefield women put their video on last week of them singing their song and it's got swearing in. So I was really pleased with that, because I think that's, you know, you gotta give the people what they want, and that is people swearing in change rooms. We're gonna get you. You are rubbish. I don't even know what we're looking for in this Captain's Challenge. I wasn't paying attention. It is Phil, isn't it? I mean, it's just... Go watch the Salford women singing their song. I'm watching it now on mute, and they're bashing the boots against the walls and stuff. They look very happy. So well done, Salford's women. They've got a drum. You better sponsor the drum, shouldn't you? Sponsor a team's drum. Oh, challenge unsuccessful. Oh, that's good. At least when you go to the NFL, Phil, I don't know if you've been to a game live. I went to London a few years ago. And my wife was entertained, even though she wasn't really interested in watching American football, because at least there was stuff going on around it. Like donuts. We spent far too much on donuts at Wembley. And, you know, just stuff going on. Even though there's a lot of stuff doesn't happen in the NFL, I don't think you notice on TV there's a lot of not happening, but which you see live. But we enjoyed it. And the Jaguars won. The Jaguars. 32-18. I wouldn't say this game's been poor, it's just been boring. Which is fine. Have Catalans given away a penalty? Oh, the Huddersfield have knocked it on. This game is pathetic. I'm going to go watch the Salford video. I don't know what the Salford song is. I'm assuming it's just like give us an S or whatever. We are in the next round of the thing. Salford. Oh, no, it's the Salford Reds Are Rising song. That's what it is. Oldham have won 30 points to 28. Fev had a penalty on the hooter from 54 metres out, and it went wide. So Fev have lost. Borough win 37-12. York 66-0, the final scores in the Championship. As Catalans are over the line, have they got the ball down? Yes, they have. Pangai Jr., you ain't stopping him, and all that. Women's Super League, Phil, starts mid-May. I think York Wigan's on the telly before Wigan play Lee. That's the first round game, I think. So I think that's mid-May. Followed by York Leeds the week after, and then Leeds Wigan at Headingley, which I will be at. The cat is just laid on the floor. And the Wheelchair Super League, I think it's June. Hoping to go to Edinburgh for Leeds. Edinburgh Leeds, the opening game of the season. Try to do stuff. Bailey Sirinen. Hey, Bailey. He's the man of the match. Player of the match. As we... Are they going to televise a game week or just a big clashes? I think Sky are only showing 3 games in the Women's Super League season. I don't know if the Sportsman are showing any. And again, this would be proactive clubs could stream their games if they're allowed. I don't know what the TV deal is. That's why I understood in the Challenge Cup you couldn't do anything after a certain point because it's the BBC and the Sportsman have the rights. Which didn't stop Widnes streaming their game against Warrington, which was interesting. But I'm not sure if you can do it or not. And obviously I've not seen the TV deal, so... As a former part rights owner of the Women's Super League. We told that story before, haven't we? I'm sure we have. Minute left. 38-18. So close in my 18. I don't know if they're showing the Leeds Wigan game actually, because that's as part of a double header with Leeds Wakefield on the Saturday afternoon. So I don't know if both games are going to be on or not. I mean, it would make sense, wouldn't it, if you've got a TV crew there to do one game to do both, but you've also got the problem, Phil, is in so much as if they show Saints and Warrington based on the friendly they've played and the Super League game, the Challenge Cup game, does no one any good, does it? I was actually pleased to see the Saints score yesterday, in so much as that in the past I've thought they have not killed off teams in the way they should. Which is a daft thing to say when, they've won 4 straight Challenge Cups or whatever. But it's over. 10 seconds left. Players are just... This is like the NFL now. It's when the clock's ticking down on the final play and they just all shake hands. Uta, over. 38-18. I hope you're happy, Phil. You made me do this. I hope I've earned more than 17p in advertising revenue. I think, do we enjoy that? Was it a good way to spend a Sunday afternoon? I need to go out. I need to go to the shops, get some dinner. I don't know, but it might just be me and you, Phil, left here. I don't know. But thanks for watching. We'll do it again Friday. All 3 games in the Rivals round we'll do here. And we'll be back tomorrow from 6. I don't know if James is back with us yet or not. But if it's just me and Phil, it's just me and Phil talking about the rugby. Oh, hi, Tim. Cheers, Tim. We'll do it all again next Friday, and we'll be back tomorrow from 6. Thank you very much for your company. You don't realise how important you all are in that sense. But thanks for watching. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday, and if you can join us tomorrow, please do so. And thank you. Have a good one. Goodbye. Ta-ra. Where's Ronnie? I've not got Ronnie on this screen, so I can't. Hang on. Let me.